Back of the various comebacks there.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm just proud of our team, proud of their fight. We could have hung our heads in the first 10 minutes of the game. We could have hung our heads in the first, 5-7 minutes of the second half. And we fought back, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of that. I'm proud of the guys. And a couple of individuals I thought deserve a lot of praise, and that's Colin Mangum, first and foremost, because he's been playing great basketball lately and really gave us a spark, not only with his shooting, but his hustle and determination. And he had a huge tip in at the end of the game to give us a big lift. So I'm proud of these guys, and I thought that our defense really buckled down late. I forget the stats. They were 8 of 10 to start the second half. So they were 4 of 16, I think, at the end of the game. So I thought our defense really locked in, and it was a fun win.
You called this a signature win last year for your program. Second year in a row to do it at home. What's the next step for you?
Well, I think one thing, if you were here last year, you noticed we jumped up and down. Before the game, I told the guys, we're not going to jump up and down. We expect to win this game, and we've got to go out and take it. And I think, we expected to win. So it was neat to see our students jump up and down, but none of our players were jumping up and down, because we believed we were going to win this basketball game. And I think that's how we feel when we go into games now. And I think that shows maybe where our program is on the verge of. And then when you see down the end of the bench, there are 5 guys in street clothes who could all probably start in this league. And so I think the future of our program is very bright.
Can you talk a little bit about Papa Dia and his progression coming into, obviously, into the season, and how he's progressed all year long? He started to do things, it seems like, fundamentally that are better for him, turning the right way to the basket, or turning the right way in the pick and roll.
Yep.
And then he worked that baseline to tie the game there with relative ease.
Yep. Well, Pop is, first of all, Larry Mangino has done a really good job with our offense, and Pop's a beneficiary of that. We've got good spacing. First and foremost, we want to go inside to Pop, and he has developed a hook shot that is tough to stop, and and then he's also a great foul shooter. So when you foul Pop, he makes most of them. He's 8 of 9 from the foul line. So when you have a big guy that can score and obviously rebound, pass the ball, even though he had 6 turnovers, those turnovers are on me. When he throws a backdoor pass, I want him to throw it. So maybe in the stat sheet he gets a turnover, but that's on me. That's not his. I tell him to throw it because it's part of our offense. And he's the thing I'm proud of is his emotional maturity. He has reverted only a couple times this year, but he and I had a great talk the other day, and just to understand, his growth as a young man, and that translates into being a better basketball player.
Was there any decision involved when Robert and Papa got in foul trouble?
Yes, like don't foul. that was the decision. Don't foul. Not really. I've got to milk that because we're not a deep team right now, Tom. Coach Smith. When I was playing for Coach Smith and then coaching at North Carolina, Dean Smith would talk. We talk about things, and you could take a guy out and then put him in with 4 minutes to go. Well, the game might be out of reach, and he may not foul out. So why not play him and try to play smart? And maybe he doesn't foul out, but if he fouls out, at least you get some production from him. And Robert's such a good shooter, and wasn't a great defender tonight. Usually a solid rebounder. He's not healthy. He was sick Saturday and turned his ankle Saturday, didn't practice for 2 days. So, I was glad to just, get what we got out of him. But he can make the difference offensively because he's such a good three-point shooter. So, that was a long answer. Short answer, no, I was going to play him. And they're experienced players, and hopefully they can play through some foul trouble.
Yeah.
Mangram's game tonight, I mean, is this something that you've been thinking all along he could do, or is it just kind of out of nowhere?
We've talked about Colin since the beginning of the year, but he's such a good shooter. He's a great shooter, not just a good shooter, a great shooter. And so we wanted to find some minutes for him. And in one of our games, the Ole Miss game, he had a hustle play where he outran the whole team and ran somebody down. And his defense on the ball was really good, and he practices hard. And so I finally said, you know what, he's got to play. And I said to him in front of the team, Colin, against Tulane, you're going to play extended minutes. Because we all have been there as a player where, okay, if you're coming off the bench and you get in a game for 2 minutes, you're not sure if you're going to play 2 minutes or 20 minutes, and you try to do something. And so he was always a little anxious when he was in the game. And so I thought by telling him you're going to play extended minutes, he'd relax. And he is relaxed. He relaxed and played very well against Tulane, didn't score a lot of points. And tonight, you know, he played great. And I'm looking, you know, a sign of being relaxed to me is turnovers. He had 2 turnovers in 31 minutes. And that's, I'll deal with that. Where before he'd have 2 turnovers in 2 minutes. So now he can settle down and relax. And boy, is he playing. He was big.
When you say this shows where the program is on the verge of, did they take it up that much to the next level tonight, in your mind, as far as
I don't
how
think
they
so. I don't
played?
think we played great. I don't think we played very well. I thought we, you know, 16 turnovers. You know, I don't think our, you know, Rob was great. I don't think, you know, Justin didn't play great. You know, Jeremiah gave us a huge lift. You know, and if we get everybody operating on you know, on all cylinders, you know, and then we'll have in a couple of weeks we'll have Loesch, Alexei Petsevich available to us, who's a 6'5" shooter. We'll be a little bit deeper. So, you know, I think that when we lost to Mississippi, our guys were mad. In the past, they wouldn't be mad. You know, we were mad. We lost to Tulane, we were mad. And so I take that as a good sign.
I mean, do you think this team's expectations and mentality toward games is starting to change?
No question. And that's just maturity and experience. You know, the Pop was really my first recruiting class. And so, you know, I think that these guys, you know, expect to win, and they want to go out as winners. And, you know, there's no guarantee we'll do that. But I think tonight's certainly, you know, we're heading in the right direction.
With Derek being gone from last season, is Jeremiah the guy that's going to fill the role for you?
Well, you know, I don't know. I've looked at Jeremiah. I've looked at Justin at the point. Derek was so good for us. I mean, great scorer, so quick. You know, when he had the ball, felt comfortable. He could shoot off ball screens. So we're doing that by committee right now between Justin and Jeremiah. And you know, Justin had a great game the other day. Jeremiah had a very good game tonight. So, you know, we'll see. It's like alternating quarterbacks.
Sure.
Works easier in basketball than it does in football.
Yeah.
Coach, did somebody already ask you about the effect of having local student section here tonight?
No, and I thought that's huge. It was great that the fraternities were out in force. And I drove by campus, on campus this morning. I saw some fraternity guys, and I said, "You guys coming to the game tonight?" And they said, "Oh, sure." And it's so important to have, you know, student body. They make a difference. They make a huge difference.
Is school in session right now? Or is it
Do what?
Is school in session or is it
No,
next month?
no, it's, I think the fraternity and sororities are back.
You know, how, you know, important are wins like tonight in turning the perception of the program around in this whole area?
I think it is, you know, you got to win. You know, at the end of the day, you got to win games, and to gain the respect of the fans, the consumers. Especially in this market, they have so many options. You know, you're going to go to a Maverick game, you're going to go to a high school game, you're going to go to, you know, I mean, a hockey game. What are you going to go to? To me, there's no value like an SMU basketball ticket. College basketball is some of the best entertainment. a ticket to our game's like what, 10 bucks? You know, I mean, really, and you can get home by 10 o'clock. So it's a great value, especially for young families, and we've got to, you know, put a product on the floor that people want to come back and see.
Does that include, you know, obviously there's some success now at home, but what about on the road? Getting on the road and getting.
Yeah, well, if you want to have success, you better win on the road too, and you know, so yeah, you gotta win. You gotta win on the road, win at home, and hopefully, you know, we're headed in the right direction.
Anything else?